luar biasa. Pak Anies Baswedan pidato di PBB. Ya ini sungguh luar biasa teman-teman. Yuk kita simak videonya.
Thank you Professor Tim Powers, Professor Paul Chesty, and all participants. Allow me to express my appreciation again. Thank you for having me after my first visit last May, and it was indeed one of the most memorable visits to a university. This is one of the oldest, and it was a very brief visit. So we planned to do a second one, and we thought by the time I completed my term as governor, we will have more time. That's what we thought. Apparently, that's not the case. And this is my second, and I truly appreciate the invitations, not only to the university, but also the invitation to serve as one of the board member for the Institute for ASEAN Studies here at Oxford University.
Now, with regard to using bahasa as ASEAN language, we need to enrich our language to begin with. I don't know how many words in Malay today. How many words of Malay? The number of words in the Malay language. How many? Anyone? In bahasa Indonesia, we have 150,000 words in bahasa Indonesia. And I remember when I started my job as Minister of Education, at that time it was only around 90,000. So I told our team, we need to enrich our language because 90,000 is not enough. Do you know how many words in the language, in English language? 1 million. And 7,000 additional words every year. How many languages in Arabic? 12.7 million words. Okay? So when you talk about our language becoming a language of international community, you really need to do our homework, enrich our language. How do we enrich our language? Absorb local language across the archipelago. Across the archipelago. Because in many local languages, even the word falling, it can be 20 words of falling. If you fall to the front, that's a different word. If you fall to the back, that's a different word. If you fall because it's slippery, that's a different word. And if you fall because there is a hole, it's a different word. What I'm saying is that, richness of a language is important when you present it to the international community as an international language. So that is why it's important for us here in Indonesia and Malaysia to continue enriching our language so that we can stand up in the international community and presenting our language to the world. But if we haven't done our homework, wait a minute, okay? Hold on. So
October the 16th. I have served for 5 years, and it has been a great 5 years, and it was challenging 2 years during the pandemic. It was a trying period for all of us, and we're grateful we survived. We learned a lot from that period, and during this period of my tenure, I have been benefiting so much from the partnership that we had, various different countries, the various partnership that we had in our meetings, be it the formal bilateral meeting, be it our meeting in a more informal setting with many of you, most of you. In the past few years has been enriching to myself and to the city. And therefore, before we ended our term, myself and the Vice Governor, we would like to invite all of you to come and for me.
Ngomong 2 menit, Sekjen PBB langsung setujui. Usulan Anies Baswedan.
Governor Baswedan, you've already influenced the United Nations with 2 minutes. Imagine if you had 4 minutes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, good morning, everyone. The Honorable UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, fellow governors and mayors, ladies and gentlemen. It's a city government has a duty to provide livable living environment for its residents. And this include addressing climate change impact by making efforts to reduce cities' carbon emissions. Cities globally have done so by putting in place commitments and resources in establishing climate action plan and delivering actions in transportation strategies, building codes, promoting clean energy, and many, many more. So ladies and gentlemen, cities across the globe are taking bold actions. So is Jakarta. Jakarta commits to be a climate resilient city, and at the moment, Jakarta is moving from car-oriented development to transit-oriented development. And Jakarta is leading in sustainable transportation and mobility transportations, and we would like to continue even further. So in these occasions, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to propose the assistance that cities needs from the UN. The UN may have a big role for supporting cities across the globe. First of all, the UN could encourage countries to acknowledge the...
Halo teman-teman, berjumpa bersama saya di Politik Dani. Ya, ini sangat luar biasa bagaimana Pak Anies Baswedan, teman-teman ya. Beliau tokoh hebat. Beliau sangat-sangat bisa dikatakan tokoh yang berpengaruh sebagai oposisi saat ini. Beliau bukan hanya dikenal di dalam negeri, tapi beliau dikenal juga di luar negeri. Ya, kalau kita melihat bagaimana Pak Anies selalu ke luar negeri bertemu dengan tokoh-tokoh hebat ya, dan ini adalah sebuah momentum bagi Anies ya, menunjukkan kemampuan kebolehannya teman-teman kepada rakyat Indonesia, bahwa beliau itu bukanlah pejabat ecek-ecek teman-teman. Beliau adalah pejabat yang betul-betul mantan pejabat yang betul-betul mempunyai kualitas dan sepak terjang yang luar biasa. Saat ini kalau kita melihat bagaimana Anies Baswedan ya selalu menjadi orang yang selalu ya memberikan kritikan tajam kepada pemerintah, itu adalah sebuah hal yang sangat luar biasa bagi Anies. Karena apa? Karena beliau mempunyai sikap sebagai oposisi, teman. Dan ini adalah sikap yang sangat bisa dikatakan sangat terhormat ya. Kenapa? Di saat banyak orang berbondong-bondong ya, hadir dan bergabung ke pemerintah, teman ya. Akhirnya negara demokrasi seperti kita tentu harus mempunyai ya pihak-pihak yang berani mengkritik, dan Pak Anies inilah orangnya, teman. Dan lahirnya Partai Gerakan Rakyat ya, ini membuat harapan yang baru bagi kita semua. Kenapa? Ya, banyak sekali partai saat ini yang kemudian seperti kata Pak Anies ya. Saya mengutip kata Pak Anies yang ya kurang lebih setahun yang lalu, ia mengatakan bahwa partai mana yang tidak tersandra oleh kekuasaan ya. Dan itulah kenapa Pak Anies menghadirkan Partai Gerakan Rakyat ya, supaya Partai Gerakan Rakyat ini tidak tersandera oleh kekuasaan dan mempunyai keputusan sikap ya untuk membela rakyat. Dan ini adalah sebuah gerakan yang sangat hebat, teman-teman, dari seorang Anies Baswedan. Dan ini adalah sebuah momentum juga bagi Anies untuk menunjukkan beliau ya, apalagi ya, beliau sudah dideklarasikan sebagai capres oleh Gerakan Rakyat ya. Ini adalah momentum bagi Anies untuk ya mengambil hati masyarakat. Bagaimana menurut kalian? Kita diskusi di kolom komentar ya. Sampai jumpa lagi. Salam.